Hey there, Ethical Being patrons, it's Joe here. Thank you very much for your support. Today, I think I've just put together a quick sauerkraut recipe for you. You just need a cabbage and some salt and a jar, and away you go. Anyway, this is for you, patrons only. Enjoy. I hope you get something out of it. Anyway, let's get cracking. Okay, so what I'm up to now, I usually cut the cabbage up into ribbons with this knife. And that is more of a traditional sauerkraut where you've got the nice thin ribbons that you eat. But I'm going to do something a bit different this time. I'm actually mixing it quickly, blitzing it in this food processor. It's going to be a lot finer. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I haven't tried it before, but it's going to be something that then we can spoon a bit more easily onto, you know, it could be a toasted sandwich or a vegan burger or something like that, also as an easy side. It should still act the same way, it should still ferment the same way and be just as good for us, but perhaps a little bit easier to eat, but also much quicker for me to make. Now, as you can see on the side here, I've got my compost. Always put my food scraps in my compost heaps. They're out the back there, at the back of my garden. You can see them hiding up there, all cooking away nicely in there. Beautiful compost. I haven't used man-made compost or anything for quite a while now. I do it all myself. I'm very proud of that too. Alright, catch you soon. Okay, so I've done a bit of blending or a bit of whizzing, and this is what's happened. As you can see, it's all the cabbage now has been processed, and as you can see, it's quite fine, almost fine, a bit finer than what you'd do for, I guess, a coleslaw, I guess. Now the next step is the salt. Now I very rarely use salt in my cooking, I try not to, but with this recipe you need to use it. When I do use salt, I often use this iodized salt. The only reason I do that is the iodine. Being vegan, there are some questions about iodine. You really need very little. If you live where there's decent soils near the coastal areas, you're probably getting plenty of iodine through the soil into your plants that you're eating. So I really wouldn't worry about it. But if I ever use salt, I just use a bit of iodized salt. Now, this is very important. You use 2 teaspoons of salt per kilo of cabbage. Now the cabbages I usually buy are a little over 2 kilos. By the time I cut the core away, take off the wilted leaves off the outside and chop it all up, it comes to about 2 kilos. So I'm going to need 4 teaspoons, not heaped, just flat teaspoons of salt. Too much salt and you ruin it. So I'm going to put the salt in now. I don't need to show you how to do that. 4 teaspoons for 2 kilos, or 2 teaspoons per kilo of cabbage. And then I'm going to massage that in gently until all of the liquid comes, or most of the liquid comes out of the cabbage, and it creates a really nice sort of salty, cabbagey juice. Then it's ready to be put in a jar. All right, talk to you soon. Hey, welcome back. So I've just been massaging that cabbage now until all the liquids come out. I'll show you the result of that. Sorry, I hope you're not getting seasick with all this camera moving around. If I squeeze this, you can see the water liquid coming out of that. That's good to go. So once we've done that, what I'm going to do, I've been sitting here with a jar. It's got boiling water in it. The lid's had some boiling water run over it a few times. That'll be nice and sterile. What I'm going to do is just put this sauerkraut into that jar, and we're just about done. Hey, sauerkraut selfie. It's all done. 2 litres of sauerkraut, finished in about 25 minutes from start to finish. An easy snack to make. Super good for you, like I said, probiotic, prebiotic, really good for your microbiome and for your gut health. Try it at home. Now, I'll give you a couple of tips before I sign off. 1, you can put it straight into the fridge right now and it'll be good to go. Or you can leave it for a few days, and that's what I do because that gets the most benefit from the fermentation of the cabbage and the liquid. You get that probiotic activity. It's really good for your gut health. It's also much tastier. It's great on toasted sandwiches, vegan burgers, as a side dish with any meal, with mashed potatoes and roast vegetables, those kind of things. It's brilliant. Now, I will put the lid on the jar now, not too tightly. Put it in a bowl or a tray in a cool, dark place. Test it sort of once every day just to see if the taste is to your liking. And then after that, put it in the fridge and it'll last for ages. There you have it, an easy sauerkraut recipe. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know if you want me to do anything else, want me to cook anything else, recipes, that sort of thing. Even maybe composting, as I touched on earlier. Anyway, thanks again for being an Ethical Being patron and for your loyalty and for supporting us. It means the whole world to me. Thank you.